The goal can matter deeply to you. Yet starting may feel dangerous when action could reveal what your ability actually looks like. You open the document, stare at the application, or bookmark the course again, then somehow end up doing something easier. The strange part is that you are not avoiding something meaningless. You are avoiding the thing you keep saying matters. Low-stakes tasks rarely carry this kind of weight. You answer messages, clean the kitchen, and finish work that means less. But the important goal is different because it has collected expectations, imagined futures, old promises, and questions about who you are. At that point, starting is no longer just starting. It can begin to feel like submitting yourself for evaluation. A book can become proof that you are creative. A promotion can become proof that you were capable all along. That makes one ordinary step feel strangely inadequate, because the step is small while everything attached to it feels enormous. So people often move sideways. They research, reorganize, buy tools, refine plans, and wait for a version of themselves who feels ready. Those detours can create immediate relief, because postponing the task also postpones whatever answer the task might eventually give. And relief matters. When delay reduces the pressure for a moment, repeating the delay can become easier the next time. Then something changes. The goal starts carrying not only hope, but also the memory of every previous day it was postponed. Now, opening the file means meeting 3 years of promises. Sending the application means confronting every earlier reason you did not. The longer this continues, the more insulting a small step can feel. 10 minutes seems ridiculous beside the life change you imagined. This is where identity can quietly enter the room. The outcome starts feeling capable of saying something final about your intelligence or talent. If you never fully test yourself, the answer remains open. Maybe you could have succeeded brilliantly under better circumstances, with more time. Waiting until the last minute can serve the same purpose. A disappointing result then has an explanation that is not simply your ability. But the protection has a price. Without sustained attempts, you receive less practice, less feedback, and less evidence about what actually improves. You preserve the possibility of being better than the result, while losing the ordinary repetitions that could have made the result better. So avoidance can protect an image of who you might be while slowly damaging your relationship with the work that could develop you. Of course, not every delayed goal is an identity problem. Exhaustion, money, health, caregiving, unclear priorities, and genuine lack of interest can all matter. The useful question is whether the obstacle is practical or whether the goal has also become responsible for proving something about you. Notice what happens when you approach it. Do you meet a concrete problem or an internal courtroom asking what failure would mean? If the second is happening, the first move is not greater motivation. It is making the action smaller than the meaning attached to it. Turn the goal back into a verb. Write one paragraph. Send one message. Practice one skill. Complete one piece that can be judged separately. That separation matters because a weak attempt is information about an attempt. It does not have to become a verdict on the person. After each step, ask what the work needs next, not what the work proves about you. Improvement becomes easier when identity leaves the grading room. The goal may still matter enormously, but the next action does not need to carry its entire emotional history. A page can simply be a page. An application can simply be sent. A first session can simply reveal what feels difficult. Once the action becomes specific, reality finally has something useful to answer. Not whether you are secretly exceptional, but what happens when you practice, adjust, return, and keep gathering evidence. That is less dramatic than protecting a perfect imagined future, but it is far more informative. The work starts teaching you instead of judging you. There is room for surprise, revision, and growth, and with each completed step, the goal loses some of the symbolic weight that made beginning feel dangerous. This is also why shame usually makes the problem heavier rather than clearer. When you call yourself lazy, weak, undisciplined, or a failure, the next attempt has to repair your self-image before it can even address the task. The goal becomes responsible for redeeming the years you delayed it, proving the people who doubted you wrong, confirming that your earlier confidence was justified, and catching you up with everyone you compare yourself with. That is far too much work for one application, one workout, one draft, or one conversation. The more useful move is narrower. Acknowledge the delay without turning it into an identity, then decide what the next observable action requires. You do not need to erase the past before you can begin using the present. And that changes the meaning of avoidance. Sometimes you're not running from a goal because it matters too little. You're circling it because it has been asked to answer questions no single achievement can answer. Am I talented enough? Did I waste my chance? Am I still the person I thought I would become? Those questions make action feel like a verdict, so delay keeps the verdict suspended. But a meaningful life cannot be built entirely inside suspended possibility. Eventually, the goal has to become ordinary enough to touch, not meaningless, not easy, and not guaranteed, just workable. The real shift is allowing the next step to be evidence about the process instead of evidence about your worth. When the goal stops carrying your whole identity, starting no longer has to feel like standing trial.